We're in here having a look at my Australian finger lime. Just a few weeks ago now, I showed you that it was a really exciting development. It was finally flowering for the first time. And there are still some flower buds in there, as well as some flowers in bloom. But there are also, if you can see them, some little fruits developing. I think the largest one it's quite hidden because there's quite a few thorns here. Let me just see if I can find it. So there it is. That's the biggest finger lime that's developing now. So they're still really small, but they're coming along nicely. And what I'm doing now is usually, we're still in the winter as far as feeding is concerned. So I would usually be feeding them monthly, the special citrus winter feed. But because they're now in the middle of trying to develop these flowers and fruits, if I were to feed them, they would start concentrating on foliage growth and then would probably drop the fruits. And I really want to avoid that, so I'm not feeding them at all. And I'm actually keeping the soil more moist than I would. Usually I keep it on the dry side. I let the first, sort of the top inch of the soil completely dry out before I water it. But at the moment I'm keeping it more moist. I know it can risk root rot, but it's more important to keep the plant working right now. So I'm giving it more rainwater than I would usually during the winter. And usually I think by next month, by April, I would start going on to a summer feed, which I feed weekly. And I'm not going to do that. I might start feeding again in May because I do want to give the plant enough nutrients to grow properly and also to develop these fruits, because it does need that too, especially when they're pot bound. They can't get any nutrients from anywhere else. They're trapped, and so they only get what I give them. So I will start feeding it again, but I just really want to be careful. These kind of trees, they need less food anyhow than regular citruses. So usually I give them like sort of a half dose that I would give other citrus trees, because they're a little bit slightly different. But it's doing really well. Really excited to see these wonderful little fruits. Really sweet. I mean, I do spray this tree every day with some rainwater. Just spritz all the leaves, try to keep them nice and hydrated to make sure they don't dry out. But this room is quite humid, to be honest. Usually they say that citrus trees need about 50% humidity in the air, which can be tricky in a house. But this room, because it's sort of like an outdoor room, and it's not very heated, you can see the temperature here is not much higher than it is outside at the moment. At the moment we're having nice spring weather, so we have about 12 degrees outside. And look at the humidity level. Isn't that insane? I mean, it's really raining right now, so that also makes it a bit more humid in here, but you can see that little sad face there. It's because you don't really want that kind of humidity in a house. But that's what I've got. And so I think it's great for the plants. This little guy seems to really enjoy it. So, and there's a few more fruits around hidden in between all these thorns. Look how big some of the thorns are. They're so long. Look at that. Amazing, amazing things. Little spiky things. But there are more fruits here and there. So there's one up there. So I just hope that all these little fruits stay on the tree and develop fully so I can have my very own caviar limes before too long.